Here we go, ready? Prime numbers. Actually, on top of this, you can write product of prime numbers. Product of prime, or AKA, also known as prime factorization, or AKA, also known as the tree thing. You probably won't find that in most math books, but that's. Now, we did this before, so this is kind of easy for you. There are two different ways to prime factorize. You can either do what's called a factor tree. That's probably the more popular of the two. And what you're looking for when you prime factorize something is you're looking to get it to be the product of all prime numbers, which makes sense to nobody. But let's say I have the number 18. What prime numbers times themselves give you 18? And don't use 1, because 1's not a prime number. Okay. What would it be? Well, let's look what we look at here. If we take 18 and break it down, what times do I give you 18? And there's no wrong answer unless it doesn't give me 18. David?
9 times 2.
9 times 2. 2 is a prime number, so I'm going to stop with it, but 9 is not a prime number. It can be broken down farther into 3 times 3, correct? That's about the only way you can do 9. Those are both prime numbers, so I can stop. The prime factorization of 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. When you multiply 2 times 3 times 3, you will get 18. These are all prime numbers. Could you write 3 squared? I don't care. 2 times 3 squared would be 5. You could have done 18 a different way. You could have picked 6 times 3. 3 is a prime number, but 6 can be broken down into 2 times 3. Either way, you get 2 times 3 times 3. Factor tree, everybody's good with?
Yes.
Now, the other way to find prime factorization that sometimes works easier with really big numbers is called division by primes. Division by primes. And we'll look at 18 again with that. Okay, so for example, let's say you have 18. Rather than doing a factor tree, you think about what prime number you can divide 18 by. And usually you try for 2s and 3s. You can divide a 2 into 18, so you write a 2 down. That's your first prime number. How many times does 2 go into 18? 9 times. And then you keep doing that as you work your way up. What prime number goes into 9? 3. And the answer to that is 3. And once you get to a prime number at top, you can stop. So it's 2 times 3 times 3. Are you with me on that? Let me show you a tougher one where you probably... so let's say you've got 288. And you were asked to prime factorize it. Now a factor tree might be kind of goofy because then you got to go by whatever. If I was doing division by primes, as long as it's even, I would keep dividing it by 2, which is a prime number. Don't use 4, because 4 is not a prime number. You have to divide by a prime number. What's half of 288? 144. What's half of 144? 72. What's half of 72? 36. What's half of 36? 18. What's half of 18? 9. And 9 can't be divided by 2, but it can be divided by 3. You get 3 times 3. So 288 prime factorized is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2's, 2 to the 5th power times 3 to the 2nd power. 5 2's times 2 3's. Sometimes they'll tell you to use a factor tree, sometimes they'll tell you to use division by primes. If they don't tell you, you can choose whichever way you personally feel is good. How is that? Exciting?
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
That's good because we're not done yet. One more blank.